Everyone, hello. My hair's everywhere. I hope you're having a good day. Hello. Sorry if I look tired. I'm very tired today. I've had a long weekend. It was very busy. I help at an old movie theater, and I was volunteering at a parade. A parade is like a celebration or a party, but they take cars and they drive them through the streets with big trailers on the back. And there's people that hand out candy and walk and celebrate. And I had to be a part of the parade, and I had to sing. I didn't really sing. I did lip singing, where I move my mouth, but I don't actually sing. So I'm very tired. I haven't had enough water. So I'm exhausted. The question is, how was your parade yesterday? It was good. It was good. It was very hot. I was very sweaty. And I was very, very tired and sweaty. And sweaty means when you drip to be sweaty. And I had to wear long pants. And because it was so hot, I was very tired. And it's funny because I am teaching the word exhausted today. Now, many of you probably already know the word exhausted, but I thought I would teach it again just because there's several uses for exhausted. It can be used in different ways. And I thought this would be a useful lesson today because it's used regularly. It's used a lot in English. And before I get started, a parade, P-A-R-A-D-E, is a celebration. But a celebration is... So a parade involves cars driving in the street. But you make floats, which are giant things that people stand on, and they ride on, and they hand out candy. So they put these on the back of the cars, and they pull them through the city. You'll see it a lot in movies. Movies have these. If you have seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, they have a parade. And they have them on celebrations in the United States, on Thanksgiving. And they do parades on the 4th of July. So this is a celebration. And many people come to watch. So, let's get started with the word exhausted. Exhausted. So exhausted is spelled E-X-H-A-U-S-T-E-D. So exhausted. And this means, it has several definitions. It means drained of your physical or mental resources. So your resources are things you use. So you might be physically healthy. And this is a resource. Your physical health is a resource. You use it to walk everywhere and to exercise and to move. In your mental health is a resource. You think all the time, so you use your mind to think. So this is a resource. So to be exhausted means that you do not have these resources to use. You are too tired, or you are out of these resources. So an example of this, when I study very hard for a test, when I am studying late at night, and I take the test, after I take the exam, I am exhausted. I am mentally and physically exhausted. I'm physically exhausted because I didn't get enough sleep. So I'm out of energy. I'm physically exhausted. And I'm mentally exhausted because I stayed up all night thinking. I was up all night using my brain. And I thought all night and through the test the next day. So I was exhausted. So this means that I, after the test, couldn't think anymore. So to be exhausted, I couldn't think and I couldn't move. And you can move a little bit, but you're physically exhausted, so you're very tired. You slouch. Your shoulders roll forward. So you're very tired. And you might, when I'm exhausted, I always do this. I'll be watching class and I'll start to wake up, and then I'll start to fall asleep again, and then I'll wake up again. So this means to be exhausted. So some example sentences of exhausted are, if it's cold outside, we've all experienced cold, it can be exhausting. So I walked all day in the snow and I was exhausted at the end of the day. So this means that I had to walk really difficult. It was very hard for me to walk in the snow. So at the end of the day, because I was so tired from walking in the snow, I was exhausted. I was physically exhausted. And then my other example is the exhausted students took a break from learning English for the day. So if students studied English all day, they were learning English for hours and hours, they would be exhausted. I lose my voice when I speak a lot. I lose my voice. I start to sound hoarse. And I become exhausted. I become physically and mentally exhausted when I practice or study too much or talk too much. So the students were exhausted from speaking English all day and from learning English. So this is what it means to be exhausted. So it's very similar. You can also, it also means to be tired. So if you are with your friends and you are tired, in the future you can say, I am exhausted. I am exhausted. It is used very often. It is used a lot in the English language. A lot of people use the word exhausted. It can be dramatic. Exhausted is more dramatic than tired. You might be more, so to be tired, you can be very tired, but the next level is to be exhausted. You're just so tired. You're so tired. So this is what it means to be exhausted. So I'll spell it one more time. It's spelled E-X-H-A-U-S-T-E-D. Exhausted. Well, another example of exhausted is not only with your body and your physical body and your mental health. It's used a lot when, for example, there's a war going on. There is a war being fought, and they're fighting, and they're starting to run out of soldiers. So their military, the amount of soldiers they have might start to become exhausted. Their military resources might be exhausted. So that means they're running out of resources to fight the war. They might be running out of bullets. They might be running out of guns. They might be running out of clothes and medicine. And they might be running out of people. These are military resources, and they can be exhausted. So this is another example. It can be used in this way as well, and in other ways too. So it has to do a lot with resources. So if someone's collecting gold, and it's a gold mine, and they're collecting the gold, they're harvesting the gold, and they're starting to run out, the resource of gold is starting to run out, they're exhausting the gold mine. They're exhausting the stores of gold that they have, the amount of gold that they can get. So these are all examples of exhausted. But it's used most in the English language to say I am tired. So exhausted means tired, mostly. That's what it's most commonly used for. So, that is my word for the day. You will see this on the TOEFL exam. I promise you will see this on the TOEFL exam. It's a very common word. So do you have any questions for me today about the word exhausted? Or any questions about anything? And thank you for the hearts. I love the hearts. Especially on days when I'm tired and exhausted. The hearts make me feel good. Yes, exhausted does, so the question is, does exhausted mean running out of energy? Yes, exhausted can mean running out of energy. You're very tired. Take your time. Ask me questions. Sorry if I'm sweaty. I'm very hot. I hope you liked the goofy picture of me on Twitter yesterday, of me with my outfit on and with the microphone. AJ went to the parade yesterday too. Yes, my course will also be useful for the IELTS. I am teaching words that are on the TOEFL, but many of the words on the TOEFL are also on the IELTS. And the course itself, the AMMP English course, is to grow your vocabulary and it's the next level of effortless English. It's university level English. So it will help with the TOEFL and the IELTS, but it is also to grow your vocabulary and make you a better English speaker. So I got the question, what is the meaning of lame? If you know the word pathetic or sad, something that's sad is lame. This is the way it's used. So if that